I usually never argue with people. If someone says something factually wrong in a dining hall, or a friend has a terrible take about something, I usually just nod and just keep going along my life. I think a lot of people think I do this because I am either shy or I don't really have an opinion, but I do it because I've learned this concept called the math of counterinsurgency in my political science class. In traditional warfare, the math is simple. If you have 10 enemies and you kill two, you have 8 left. But in counterinsurgency, the math works differently. General Stanley McChrystal famously said, if you have 10 insurgents and you kill two, how many do you have left? The answer isn't 8, it's 200. By killing those two, you have angered their families, their fathers, their cousins, and their neighbors, and you caused collateral damage. You basically turn the population against you. You've won the tactical battle of killing the target, but you lost the strategic war of the people. The people hate you now. I apply this exact math to my social life at UCR. When you argue with someone, you try to destroy them with facts and logic. This is basically like launching a tactical strike. You might win. You might prove your point that you're right and they're wrong. You might kill the insurgent. But when you actually look at the cost more further, you embarrass them, you hurt their ego, or you just make the vibe awkward and weird in the room. You didn't eliminate the problem, you just multiplied it. Now that person could resent you. They might be looking for a reason to attack you later. This is basically the meaning of you created 200 enemies, and all this just to prove a point. In class, we learned that the only way to win a counterinsurgency is to win hearts and minds. You can't win hearts and minds by dropping bombs, and you can't win friends by dropping truth bombs every time someone makes a mistake. In the sense that force is a blunt instrument and it doesn't build stability. So, for most of the time, this is why I choose strategic silence. If someone is wrong, I be wrong. I don't need to always correct the record. I don't always need to be the facts police. I think by refusing to engage in this conflict, you can stop the insurgency before it even starts. And this isn't really about always being nice, but it's about protecting my own energy. Because just like I said, in like a few days back, things are expensive. Just like this, arguments are expensive. Um, they cost focus, they cost peace, and they just ruin your mood and stuff. Especially if you have a low uh emotional digestion. What I talked about in my previous videos. So I run my life in a strict budget of energy, and spending even a few minutes to like an hour just debating these topics is a bad investment, in my opinion. I would rather save this energy for my day to day life. Now, I have one exception. I will argue to death about pointless topics like whether Lothian or Glasgow has better food. That's because of low stakes. It's fun. I'll argue to death about that stuff. But for the real stuff like roommate drama, ego battles, or like gossip, I don't do that. Because you have to do the math. Is winning an argument worth creating 200 insurgents? Is it worth the collateral damage to your peace? If you want to debate, I would just say join the debate club. But if you want peace, just learn how to nod and just keep moving forward. In the words of Sun Tzu, the supreme art of war is to subdue the enemy without fighting. Thanks for watching, guys, and make sure to like and subscribe. And see you guys later.